my lovelies. Today I'm going to be talking about 6 reasons why you shouldn't start a business, or maybe 6 reasons why you should delay starting a business. Hi everyone, my name is Nicky Bentley and I'm the owner of Crown Connective, and on this channel we talk about all things entrepreneurial, wholesalers, manufacturers and just general need to know business information. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, please click the like button, subscribe button and also turn on the notification bell so that you're notified when I post more content. So yes, my darlings, I'm going to be talking about 6 red flags as to when you basically should listen to them and not start your own business or delay starting your own business, and just have a think about if the entrepreneurial lifestyle is really for you. So my darlings, I'm going to jump straight in there with my first red flag. No money. If you don't have any money, then I would really advise you not to start your own business. As simple as that. You have to invest in your business in order to start up said business, okay? When you invest in your business, there is no guaranteed timescale as to when you're going to see the returns. You could see the returns in 6 months. You could see the financial returns in a year. You could see the financial returns in 2 years. I don't know the exact timescale as to when you're going to see the revenue back in your business, but if you don't have any money to invest into your business to start up the business, then it's not for you. Another thing in regards to the aspect of finance and money is you need to know and be honest with yourself if you are financially savvy, okay, and if you're financially stable. And what I mean by that is sometimes there are quite a few people who have this notion in their head that, okay, I'm going to become self-employed, I'm going to quit my job and I'm just going to rely on this business and give it my all and focus on this business. Okay, that's great, but how are you going to sustain yourself just for your general, day-to-day costs? How are you going to pay your priority bills? How are you going to buy food? Especially if you have kids that depend on you and, let's just say you're a single parent. How are you going to pay the bills? How are you going to pay the childcare? You need to be honest with yourself and honest with your finances and have a look and see if this is something that you can really go head in without having a backup job. So anybody out there who wants to start their own business, I really would encourage you to keep your part-time job or have another job so that you've got, a residual income coming in, and also focus on starting your new business, because you don't want to be in a situation where you have nothing else financially to fall back on. Another thing about being honest about your finances is you also need to see and identify if you're good at budgeting. There are a lot of us who, get paid and then we think, oh my God, I've just been paid, let me just go get myself a takeaway. And then you're finding that you're buying takeaways like every week, or you've been paid and you're spending things, you're just basically spending your money frivolously on things that aren't really essential, okay? You need to know that you are good at budgeting. You need to know that your finances are in a good place. And also another thing as well, you need to make sure that your credit score is A1, okay? And the reason why I want to mention the credit score is because when it comes to the element of wanting to get a business loan, the business lenders are going to look at your credit history, okay? And if your credit is not good, then I'm sorry to say that you probably will get rejected. And so money, if you don't have any money to invest into this business that you want to start, then it's not for you. Or I would say hold off and get your finances in check and then identify if it's something that you want to get into. The next thing that I would say is another red flag that you should be aware of is fantasy. What I mean by fantasy is a lot of people these days want to start businesses because their friends are doing it, or they're seeing a lot of these businesses pop up on social media such as Instagram, and they think, oh, if they're doing it, I can do it. That's a great mentality to have. and there isn't anything that you can't do. I'm not discouraging anyone, but you have to be honest with yourself. You don't really know what that business owner or that person has done to get to where they are, okay? And I think a lot of us look at things on social media and we just see the end result and we think, oh yeah, that's easy. But we don't understand, we don't know everything that person has gone through to get to where they are today, okay? If we delve deeper into that situation of the fantasy element of wanting to start a business, you could see someone who has a hair business and they sell hair extensions. You don't know how long it's taken them to find a reputable manufacturer, okay? It's not easy finding manufacturers to sell you human hair extensions. And this is where, Crown Connective comes in, because we make all of that easier because we sell vendor lists. So you don't know how long it took that company to find good quality manufacturers, good quality hair. You don't know how long it took for them to find their customers. You don't know how long it's taken for them to make sales. As much as you can see on their social media pages, loads of posts, loads of pictures of the hair and all of this, great stuff, you don't know if that company is actually making any money. And I think this is the thing that we need to kind of take into consideration. Don't look at the highlight reels on social media. Try to take your mind away from that and question, are they actually making any money, okay? And sometimes what I would say in regards to the fantasy element is start to network and speak to other business owners and ask them, some questions about how did they get to where they are. Obviously not if they're making any money, because it's a bit rude, but just to find out what it took for them to get to where they are, okay? Just please don't rely on looking at people's businesses online or on social media, because what people put on social media is not really a true reflection of what's going on behind the scenes, okay? So fantasy, get out of that fantasy in your head and try to get the factual truth. Another thing that I would say is a red flag, basically for you to not start a business or so to delay starting a business, is basically lack of knowledge. If you have no experience, if you have no knowledge about the business niche that you want to get into and you want to start, please do not embarrass yourself. Do not start that business. You cannot want to start a business and you have no experience and no knowledge in it, because you will get exposed. You will be shown as the imposter that you are, okay? So if you want to start a makeup line, okay, because you want to create some lip glosses that you feel the beauty industry is lacking, but you don't have any beauty experience, I would say go and find yourself an online course or a physical course and go and get yourself, I don't know, a degree or some kind of a BTEC qualification. You need to have some kind of a qualification in this niche that you're getting into, because you need to understand the basics. You need to understand everything, or as much as you can, about what it is you're trying to get into. Another thing as well, once you've got your qualification, I would always advise you to do some work experience. Whether that means you going to get a job, sticking to the topic of this lip gloss in the beauty industry, whether that means you getting a job in somewhere like Selfridges on the beauty counter or John Lewis on the beauty counter, do it. If you don't want to work in a department store, go and look for some freelance makeup work, okay? There are loads of freelance jobs, especially in the beauty industry, on platforms such as Star Now. Look around. You need to have some physical work experience so you can understand more about what it takes to be in that industry and just build your knowledge. Read books as well. Pick up a book. If you don't want to pick up a book, go and get a Kindle version of what it is you're trying to learn. You really need to educate yourself, okay? Because you don't want to embarrass yourself starting a business and you really don't even know what it is that you're getting yourself into. So educating yourself is essential. Okay, so that's another thing that I would advise you to do. Educate yourself. The next thing that I would really ask people to be honest about is mental health, mental endurance, okay? Are you where you want to be in your mental health right now? The reason why I would say that this is something, deemed as a red flag, and it's something that you need to kind of identify and focus on, is because when you start a business, it takes a lot out of you mentally and physically. When you decide that you want to be, an entrepreneur, you have to be aware that you're going to be working around the clock sometimes. There is no 9 to 5, okay? It's 7 days. It's 7 days, honestly. And your time really isn't really as free as it would be in the past. It's going to be consumed a lot with work. It's going to be consumed a lot with getting the business started. It's going to be consumed with a lot of the startup costs and the startup process to launching this business. And I'm not going to lie, it can be very draining. You can get mental exhaustion from this, and it can just be very tiring and overwhelming. So if you know that you've got a lot of things going on in your life personally, if you know that your physical health is not where you want it to be, if you know that you're just not where you want to be mentally right now, and there's a few things that you need to deal with, then I would honestly say for you is, starting a business is not for you, or it's not for you right now until you address your mental health issues and your mental health concern, okay? So burnout is not nice. I've been there before, and I would really encourage people to just really think about their mental health before they take that big leap and say, yes, I want to become an entrepreneur. Yes, I want to start my own business. So that's one of my things. The next thing that I want to mention as something that you should be aware of, and if you identify yourself as not wanting to take part in this, then definitely having your own business is not for you. But it's lack of freedom. When you start a business, it's very time consuming. As I mentioned before, it's not going to be a 9 to 5. It's going to be 7 days a week. It's going to be whatever time schedule you set for yourself is going to be around the clock, okay? The switch off time for me when I'm starting my business, I would say was around 11. And this was me because I was trying to add structure to my day, but I was working some long days and some long nights because I needed to get everything right. I needed to get the launch right. I needed to just, the website, I needed that to be correct. And it's very tiring, especially when you start your business. For the first year or so, you are going to be very, very wrapped up in your business. So if you know that you're a person who wants to go out every weekend, who wants to be out, 2-3 times a week with their friends, socializing, going to a brunch, doing this, doing that. I'm not saying that you can't go out and have a break. I'm not saying that you can't go out and have a brunch with your girls. But what I'm saying is, when you are starting that business in the first year, or especially the first 6 months, you don't have time for friends, okay? Your business is your friend. Getting that money is your friend. Making that business succeed is your friend. So if you don't want to sacrifice your social life, your family time, it's not for you. You're going to have to make some sacrifices, okay? You are going to have to cut some things out and some people off. If you want to succeed and you want your business to be a success, there will be some sacrifices that will essentially need to happen. If you're not good at cutting things out and cutting people off that are, not on the same wavelength as you, not going to benefit you or your business, then it's not for you. The last thing that I would like to mention It's the most important thing, okay? If you don't have the confidence to do this, then ultimately this entrepreneurial lifestyle, starting a business, is not for you. But if you don't know how to close deals, aka make sales, make people buy from you, then yeah, don't get into the entrepreneurial lifestyle. What I mean by that is you need to have the confidence, you need to have the je ne sais quoi to encourage people to buy your product. You have to have the confidence in yourself to let people know this is what your business does, this is who I am, and this is why you should buy my product. If you don't have that confidence, if you don't have that belief in yourself, and you don't know how to speak to people, to educate them, to make them understand why your product will benefit them and why they should buy your product, then yeah, it's not for you. People who worked in sales, because I've done sales in the past, will have that good experience in closing deals and making sales, okay? But just in general, if you know that you are not confident enough to stand in front of the camera and sell yourself and sell your brand, speak to customers to understand their queries and educate them, and then make them realize why they should buy your product, then yeah, babe, this is not for you. So yes, my darlings, I hope my 6 red flags were kind of beneficial for you. If there's anybody else out there who has any other red flags as to why you shouldn't start a business or when you should delay starting a business, please drop them in the comment section. I would love to hear. And yeah, as I said, I'm not talking anyone out of starting a business. I just want you to think about things first before you jump straight into it, and just make sure that this definitely is something that you want to do. And if it is, good for you. But yes, my darlings, I will see you again next week. Take care. Have a lovely week. Take care. Bye.